Colin was trying to
Hello,
catch me.
viewers.
Hello, and welcome to the Lawyer Human Daily
Ish.
ish.
That's Shreya Lay. I'm Colin Lay
I get to
of Lay
tell
Roots.
people who you are.
Today we're talking about why you need asset protection. Why
Yeah.
you might need asset protection.
Why, Colin? Lay it on me.
Well, let's just jump right in it then.
Yeah.
Okay. First,
First,
expanding theories of liability.
what does that mean?
Good question.
That sounds so fancy.
It means that courts find more and more ways to make people liable for other people's problems. No, but I'll give an example that I found interesting that I learned about recently when we were in Texas. The attorneys we know there were talking about how the Texas Supreme Court has said that filing a lawsuit against somebody is protected by your First Amendment freedom of speech rights.
Whoa.
Because typically somebody would file what we call a frivolous lawsuit, and you would make a response and say, hey, judge, this lawsuit is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no
total BS
reason for it. They're just harassing us, hounding us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, then the attorney that first filed the lawsuit can file a second claim
against you
for violating their freedom of speech. And then they get this, then they attach this like federal based claim. It's called an anti-slap. I don't know what that means. We don't live in that world.
Yeah.
But basically it puts you on the hook for more damages because you thought their lawsuit was ridiculous. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Shreya's speechless. So second one.
Well, it's related.
It is. It's a victim-oriented society these days. Shreya was nervous about saying that because she doesn't want anybody to get upset, which I think proves the point. But it's basically in our country here in the U.S., there's a feeling that somebody has to pay. If something goes wrong with someone, somebody has to pay.
Yeah. What happened to just something being an accident?
Yes, that's my thing. What about do we curse on this show? I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know. That was the rule you made.
Yeah, it's the stuff happens theory that stuff doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a story about this.
Okay.
Because
let her rip.
And it was on Facebook. I saw this woman posting about how someone ran into her on the ski slope and how she regretted not getting all of this person's information because they should have to pay for all of her PT and whatnot for falling over and having this accident on a ski slope. But if you've ever been skiing or snowboarding before, I mean, one, you kind of just assume the risk when you're up there because you're participating in a somewhat dangerous sport. But also, it's just kind of life, right? Like life happens.
Yeah.
Like people make mistakes. There can be an accident.
Yeah, there was actually I think someone sued Gwyneth Paltrow recently because he crashed into her while he was skiing. But that kind of gets into the next one of reasons you need asset protection is because of all those dirty lowdown plaintiffs lawyers out there, which are attorneys that find people like that who have hurt themselves somehow and then sue other people for it.
Yeah.
For example, a
friend of ours.
Yeah, he sued a climbing gym because somebody who went climbing there fell down, which is part of climbing. You climb and fall. Sometimes you don't fall.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you do. It's just part of the thing. But they got to sue this company and got a nice little payday from it.
Which is weird to me. I'm like, you chose to go climbing and you knew that you might fall.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were hanging around with these plaintiffs' lawyers last week, and they were telling all their stories about. They showed me a picture of somebody with a damaged bumper on his car, and the whole car could have been replaced for like $15,000. It was one of those little roller skate cars.
Yeah.
And he got $60,000 for damaging the bumper on his car. That's what they settled for. And that's what
crazy.
It was worth. Whoever paid that, insurance company or something, paid it to just go away because it was more expensive to go through the litigation process.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me too riled up, Shrey. Finally,
it's a Friday after all.
Final reason you would need asset protection is the deep pocket theory. And it goes along with everything else, but basically,
well, it's kind of what you already said, right? Like people will pay just to make something go away.
Yep. If someone or something has the money to pay, if you come knocking, if these attorneys come knocking, they know that they can probably get a quick settlement. Someone will pay.
I recently had an attorney threaten this to my client. They were like, well, if you pursue this, instead of us being reasonable and like figuring this out like adults, if you pursue this, then your client might have to pay attorney's fees and all of this other stuff. And
didn't they also threaten to sue you because you emailed them?
It was some sort of issue.
Because you were critical of them?
Yeah, because I was critical of them. I think there was some alcohol involved in their email response. But they went on a rant threatening like all of these costs associated with it and be like, so you should just pay us even though we don't necessarily owe you. Like you don't necessarily owe this money. You should just pay us so that you don't have to deal with this lawsuit. And I'm like, Is that a real reason to like, what about justice?
All right. So as you say, there's a lot of reasons that you might need asset protection. We talked about expanding theories of liability, victim-oriented society, lowdown, dirty plaintiffs' lawyers, and then the deep pocket theory of people who
covered
could pay.
A lot.
So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like down there.
Share it
with someone who
also hates plaintiffs' attorneys.
Yeah, share it with those people.
Don't hate them. They're people too.
So thank you for watching.
Annoying.
Bye.
Bye.